Hello. What is up, chat? So today on the podcast, we're gonna be talking about this for some time. I don't know if it's gonna be the whole topic, but it'll be some amount of it. And I want to take some time to review the article and make sure I understand all of their decisions and what they said and what they meant before I talk about it on the podcast. And I thought I'd do that live. Thought it'd be fun. So probably not a crazy long stream today, but we'll see. Yes, I have a really wide monitor. Okay, all right. Wait, we're talking bands here. And then there's a separate article for the Game Changers update. So Biorhythm is unbanned. Biorhythm is 6 green for sorcery. Each player's life total becomes the number of creatures he or she controls. Very funny card. If you have 0 creatures, you just die. Okay, we'll see their reasoning. And then Lutri the Spellchaser is unbanned but remains banned as a companion. Alright, let's talk about it. Biorhythm has the potential to be a powerful card. It can end the game on the spot for a player with no creatures. So I think the best thing you can do with Biorhythm is like Cyclonic Rift, untap Biorhythm, then you just kind of win, right? You can set a board state so you can take out all 3 opponents in a single go. Talked about this card a lot. Ultimately decided to leave it on the ban list for the first go around. It gives the Biorhythm's player's right a big disadvantage, right? Yeah, that makes sense. Because the person to the left is like, oh, you're at 1 life to me, I'll just attack you. But they've already banned Wildfire, yes. That makes sense. Sway the Stars, Coalition Victory, and those turned out to be fine. So Biorhythm, yeah, it's probably the strongest of those, but okay. I mean, that makes sense. I honestly don't think it's that big of a risk. I think Biorhythm's kind of fine. I don't know if Dockside's getting unbanned anytime soon. And then Lutri. Now, Lutri is actually, funny enough, just not a good Magic the Gathering card. Like it's broken because of the companion mechanic, but if it didn't have companion, it would be so mid. Because I didn't realize this until after it got unbanned and I was looking at it. But Lutri says, when it enters the battlefield, if you cast it, copy target instant or sorcery. So you can't go infinite with this and a clone spell, or you can't go infinite with this and a ghostly flicker, like Narumeha or Dual Caster Mage lets you do. So it is just like worse Dual Caster Mage that you can put in the command zone. Yeah, it's a very, it's a terminally fair card. Anyway, I think they just explained, right? Its ban has just been a quirk because it's just like a ubiquitous card. Because, like, if you don't know, its companion restriction is you have no duplicates in your deck other than basic lands or lands in general. So because of that, you get to play it in every single deck that has blue and red in its color identity. So if you're 5 color, 4 color, multiple 3 colors, and is it, you would just always use Lutri because there's no reason not to. So, you know, that's the reason that it got, like, pre-banned. It was banned before it even got released. Anyway, it's banned as companion, which is quirky because it adds an extra list, right? It's like, you know, like, there's now a new list called banned as companion, but it's just going to be this card and, like, nothing else ever. Like, I would be surprised if I'd be surprised if they did companion a second time, and I would be very surprised if they did companion with some restriction that made it really easy to go in every commander deck. Yeah, and the opportunity cost is low, because if they have Lutri as their companion, and you say, hey, that actually doesn't work, it's banned as a companion, their deck doesn't change, because companions are the 101st card in EDH, so it's not actually, like, part of your deck. So it's actually a lot easier. Okay, then they talked about a few few other random cards, right? So Sundering Titan. And this I was kind of confused about. I posted on socials a little bit. So this was banned at a time when you would blink it with like Deadeye Navigator. If you don't know how Sundering Titan works, it's ETB or leaves the battlefield. You choose a land of each basic land type and then destroy those. So you can go, hey, I'm going to blow up your Triome. I'm going to blow up your Shock land. I'm going to blow up your Dual land. I'm going to blow up your basic and your basic, right? And then you would like blink it, and then every time you flicker this, it destroys 10 more lands. This card's power level has like decreased significantly over the years because we now have like way more duels. We have like the I guess we always have the pay lands, but we have the Verge cycle. We have the what are the Shadows of Innistrad ones where you like have to reveal a land of a specific type? We have more utility lands that don't actually have the land types on them, and this actually can't destroy those lands. Like, this can never destroy a command tower. So if you have, like, all of those and no lands of, like, types, you can't actually do anything about this. Alec, man, I don't think I think he specifically says it means we're not getting banned as a commander as a list. And I agree. I don't want too many lists because we already have now Game Changers and the ban list. So, like, adding this third list is kind of annoying, although it's pretty much only ever going to be Lutri. Reveal lands, is that what they're called? Yeah. Hello, Hayfee. Yeah, Sundering Titan's, like, not that good as land destruction. It's not, like, great. The card isn't super powerful. It is 8 mana. But one thing that I was kind of confused about is, so here, blah, 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 they say, additionally, Sundering Titan is in a funny spot because the bracket system sets up some nice guidelines against land denial. It would be a game changer, limiting it from appearing in bracket 2 and below, and if you're planning to repeatedly loop or blink it regularly, that kind of land denial is not welcome in bracket 3. For all those reasons, we consider unbanning the card. This confused me. This destroys 5 lands and then 5 more because it says it leaves the battlefield. You're basically going to destroy 10 lands. Is that not mass land denial? Because, like, people were trying to compare it to, like, planetary annihilation or something, where they're like, oh, planetary annihilation. It's like, you know, that's not mass land denial, you know, that counts or whatever. But this isn't planetary annihilation. Planetary annihilation leaves everyone with at most 6 lands. This means I can just blow up 5 of your lands. Toma mentioned this in his video. Oh, I have not seen it. They want to keep the reasons for banning the cards independent of the bracket rules. That's silly because they can just change the bracket rules. No, here's the thing is I also thought it would initially be bracket 4, but the way they talk about it here makes it sound like it's not automatically bracket 4. Even though we could blow up 10 lands from one player. Yet, if you go to like if you look at where is it? Ajani Vengeance, this -7, which is pretty hard to pull off, I would say. Quite hard to pull off. This counts as MLD. If you put this in your deck, most deck builders are going to say it's bracket 4, right? And this is a Planeswalker Ultimate. This is just 5 lands on ETB. This is like way easier, right? So I don't know. I always assumed it was bracket 4, so it should just be unbanned because it's not that powerful. Yeah, I wonder if they need to be clearer on the mass land destruction definition, because like, okay, so you know, like strip mine, right? Strip mine is obviously not mass land denial. It blows up 1. Yes, you could technically get a Crucible and Exploration, and then over the course of many turns, stop 1 player from gaining mana. But like, you know, that's like such an unreasonable thing. But then like Plowwood. Plow Under puts 2 lands on top of their owner's library. This isn't mana last land denial either, right? Like, it can't be. It's just, it's 2 lands, you know? Isn't it 5 lands, 1 of each type? Yes. Yeah, Sundering Titan's fine in bracket 4. I don't think it's like strong enough for that. Sundering Titan is auto bracket 4. Their decision tonight actually with the bracket methodology. Yeah, I guess. I wonder when the bracket system's not going to be in beta. I don't know. We'll see. This was like the only thing that I thought was like genuinely kind of confusing and weird about this update. Was because I'm like, why? How's it not bracket 4? So I found that to be kind of odd. I think MLD says 3 or more lines. Does it? You know, I think I have an image of this somewhere. Okay, never mind. That didn't say anything. Plow Under is a card. Plow Under is a card that exists. I was playing years ago, playing a modern game. I was playing Tron, and my buddy was on like turbo ramp, and he ramped a 5-man on turn 3 and just plow undered both my Tron lands. I lost the game like instantly. It was awesome. People said you playing Time Stretch is chaining extra turns. No way they won't say it's MLD. I agree. I think the average like rando commander player would tank 5 lands from Sundering Titan and be like, wait, isn't that mass land destruction? No, it's not just basics. Yeah. If you play, it hits triomes, it hits dual lands. This is disproportionately very good against like 4 or 5 color decks. Also, if you play like Urborg and Yavi Maya, you can turn their command tower into a swamp and then blow it up with Sundering Titan. Sundering Titan is also kind of interesting because if you play a deck with no lands that have land types, it never harms you, which is like a weird way to parity break. It is an interesting card, I think. For bracket 4, if you're playing a bracket 4 stacks deck, it is an interesting card. I do think they need to be more firm about what chaining extra turns is, I guess, but Time Stretch is a singular card. I think you can't call that chaining extra turns. That seems a little ridiculous. Is Time Stretch isn't even a game changer. You can, like, I feel like we can logic this, right? Yeah, Time Stretch is not a game changer. They say you're not allowed to chain extra turns in bracket 2. So this would have to be a game changer if they didn't want to also play it, you know? So I think that's reasonable. Okay, Iona, they said that they're not going to unban Iona. Which is fine. I actually think Iona's bad for monocolor decks, right? And monocolor decks already need more help than multicolor decks. So I actually don't think that unbanning this is a great idea. Would I call Time Civ chaining extra turns? I mean, yeah, probably. If you're like Time Civ extra turn, untap, Time Civ extra turn, even if it's not infinite, that would be one card looping into multiple extra turns. I wasn't like too jazzed when they banned this card initially, but like I don't really care about it, so I'm not like mad that it's not coming back. It is a 2-card combo with Painter's Servant, which could be fun for bracket 4. But yeah, I kind of agree with Gavin here. What's the upside of unbanning this? Like, what does it do? Is it going to make Commander like more fun? Yeah, if you infinite turns, are you chaining extra turns? Is a legitimate question about the thing, because at that point it's just a combo. And it's like, okay, I have infinite turns, I win. It's like, I have infinite damage, I win, right? You just kind of can move on from there. I feel like, personally, if you have a combo that leads to infinite turns, that's not chaining infinite turns, I think that that's a combo, which is fine. What is the upside of unbanning Biorhythm? You know, that's a good question as well. What is the upside of unbanning Biorhythm? I think Biorhythm is actually going to lead to some crazy moments. Like, I think there's times where you're going to go, Biorhythm, get everyone to 3, swing for lethal, someone's going to fog, and then you're going to be at 5 life, everyone's going to be at 3, and then it's going to be like a mad scramble to see who's going to like take out who. And I think that's like a legitimately fun thing. Like, that's an actual upside. There can be memorable moments. I don't know how many memorable moments you can get from Iona, because it's like, the Iona, they name red, I can't cast any of my spells, and I have to like go like, please, can you cast a board wipe? It's just not very memorable, you know? No, Dockside is also broken in lower brackets. I want so many games in lower brackets going Dockside, oh, I guess I have 50 mana now, and then I win. that wasn't fun. That was literally just like, I played the card that's a ritual for -30, and then I win the game. Like, yeah, Shaman of the Forgotten Ways does what Biorhythm does. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, big mana finisher that requires other pieces, yeah. Iona is not a big mana finisher that requires other pieces. It's just kind of like a jank lock piece. Main issue with extra turn combos is they may not play around it because they assume you aren't playing extra turn stuff. Might come out of nowhere. I mean, like, yes and no. I don't know. If you see a time sieve, I would probably be like, hey, we should not let them have 50 artifacts because then they might combo or something, you know? Or if they have like a Clock of Omens or some other like thing that leads to that. I don't know. I think it's still like a combo game knowledge thing. I think Biorhythm is more fun than Craterhoof. I think Craterhoof is boring as hell. Because if I play Craterhoof and I swing out and you fog, it's like, okay, well, you know, I still have my whole board. If I Biorhythm swing out and you fog, I'm at like 8 life. Is Expropriate chain extra turns? Expropriate, I don't even think they made it a game changer anymore, right? So I'm going to say no. Yeah, it's not even a game changer. Alright, Griselbrand. This is comical. I understand Gavin's argument here. He says Griselbrand is sweet. People like the card. This is like the problem with a lot of the voices being casual EDH players is Griselbrand looks sweet when you're like, oh, I hit them for 7, gain 7, and then I draw 7. And if you play it in the most like cartoonishly fair way, the card is indeed just pretty sweet. That isn't how this is going to happen. Like, this is going to draw 21 cards so often. Like, it's like saying, oh, just a value Necropotence where you refill every turn is, you know, it's just sweet. It's not even that crazy. No, Necropotence is still broken. And Griselbrand is up there as more broken because of the way the draw works. I really don't want this card unbanned. I don't even see the argument for it. It's just, like, am I going to have fun watching my opponent go, sneak attack, here's my Griselbrand, I'm going to draw my entire deck and combo off? Like, I don't know, it's just like a really fast way to win the game. Yeah, exactly. Even if you play this in a cartoonishly fair way, it is still a really powerful Magic the Gathering card. Yeah, even if you're a casual deck, yeah, Necropotence for like 35 is like, it's still good. It's crazy. This is the thing about like powerful cards is like, you know, little Timmy opens the card and goes, oh my god, it draws 1 billion cards, it gains 1 billion life, it does 1 billion damage, it instantly wins the game. That's so exciting. But when you play it and go, I win, and then you play it another time and you go, I win, and you play it again and you go, I win, it gets old really fast to have a card that instantly wins when it comes into play, especially because then your opponents also do that. Because they're like, well, I gotta play the I win card too, right? So I'm gonna play the card that wins me the game instantly as soon as it comes into play. And then I gotta play the card that instantly wins me the game when it comes into play. And then the game revolves around one card. And this card is like, it's so difficult to interact with. It's so hard to, because like, as soon as it touches the field, if I cast a removal spell, you just respond by drawing a billion cards. Like, it doesn't do anything. Some of the arguments presented here made you tweak. Yeah, I don't know. Some of these, like the Sundering Titan one, I think is just confusing. I also don't think CDH needs this. I think CDH needs less powerful cards to make it more diverse. So in on the Soul Ring question video though, I mean oh wait, were you asked the question about Soul Ring? No, I already answered that. That was in a what video was it? Dude, I answered your question about Soul Ring in a video. Oh, which one was it? It might have been, I don't remember which one it was. It might have been the killing your favorite deck one. But yeah, you asked the question about Soul Ring and the Patreon thing, but I answered it in one of my previous videos. I don't remember. You can DM me on Discord and I'll try and find it for you. Most of the ban lists are resource pieces, mana, and card draw wins games. Yeah, like, people fundamentally don't understand card draw. Like, casual EDH players just don't understand card draw at all. And, like, they just don't realize that card draw wins games. No, you're good. You're good. It was at like the end of one of those videos. I don't remember exactly which one. If we get less loaded power level to high life total, it helps. If we give less front-loaded power to the high life total, maybe it helps. I mean, oh, maybe. Oh, you also cut Soul Ring and haven't missed it at all. Dude, I have not missed Soul Ring once. Yeah, what up, Ruby? I had to delete YouTube off your phone. Oh, that's fair. Yeah, no, I have not missed Soul Ring. Okay, alright. 2 cards that didn't get banned. I think this is very interesting. Okay, so 2 things. So there's not like a big outcry for Thassa's Oracle to be banned. And part of that is because it just, without the Demonic Consultation combo, the card isn't actually that strong. So in casual EDH, bracket, 3 and below, it's not a big deal. And from a casual perspective, I understand why you don't want it banned. And then most CDH players also, I'm going to say a hot take here. All right. Most CDH players these days have not played 60-card formats, and they have also not played 60-card formats when there was a healthy metagame. Most competitive 60-card players right now have not seen an actual healthy metagame because we haven't had good healthy metagames in a very, 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 very long time. And because of that, people's perceptions of metagames, I think, is kind of warped and skewed in ways that disrupt how they think about the metagame. And CDH players are no exception to that, especially if they haven't played 60-card formats. Now, I'm not blaming CDH players for not wanting to play Standard. That format is ass, right? It has rotation, it has bonus rotation when new Power Creep cards come out, it has mega bonus rotation with the ban list updates. Standard is garbo. There's no reason to play it. And, you could proxy 100 CDH decks for the price of like 1 Standard deck at this point. So, I get it. That said, I actually still think Thassa's Oracle, for CDH purposes alone, should be banned. I think it actually warps the metagame in a way that people don't quite realize. It's not as popular as it once was, and it's not as dominant as it once was. But the current meta is built on top of it in a specific way, and it pushes out non-blue removal in a unique way. that I think if it was gone, we would see a diversification of the types of interaction we see in EDH, and I think that would actually help lower the power level of things like Underworld Breach. It's kind of hard to explain, because I'm not going to go into it too much here, but like generally that's the idea. I actually do think this would be a healthy ban for CEDH, even though that seems weird if you look at the metagame currently. Underworld Breach is more meta-defining currently, but I think that is because of the way Oracle operates. And there's a lot of things you could do to fight Breach that don't work against Oracle, so you have to all play only counter spells to deal with Breach, and you can't do certain other things like Graveyard Hate and stuff. It's weird, but if you played CEDH back in like 2016, the types of removal we saw was like completely different because you didn't have this card that forced it to all be counterspells only. Future video incoming? I don't know. Like I could do something, you know, clickbaity about like CEDH or whatever, and like discuss my issues with CEDH. Because I love CEDH, but I have a lot of issues with it. But like, I don't know. It's kind of like a depressing video to make. I'm not sure. They talk about these two. Not sure Thassa is a CEDH ban they talk, but everyone talks about Rhystic. Yes, Rhystic Study should be banned for CEDH, for casual, for everybody. This card should not exist. This card is fucked up. Rhystic Study is not an okay Magic the Gathering card. It is so fundamentally cringe. The fact that my opponent can play a 3-drop and my other opponent can decide, Con, you lose this game because I'm going to give the Rhystic player 50 cards. You are going to lose and you have no say in the matter. That is so unbelievably lame. There is no other card in Magic the Gathering that makes it so your opponents can strip away all of your agency in the game. Like, there is nothing else that does this. The CEDH situation is crazy as a banger title for that. Do I think banning 2-color partners will slow the format down? You just ban Tymna. Just Tymna is fine. Tymna is like a crazy Magic the Gathering card. I would not hate to see that card go. If everyone wants a removal, you want to protect your stuff with counterspell. Yeah. But Abrupt Decay. Abrupt Decay used to be peak in CEDH back in the day. Abrupt Decay doesn't stop Thassa Oracle, but Abrupt Decay will get rid of your Underworld Breach. Abrupt Decay gets rid of Labman. Abrupt Decay gets rid of Orcish Bowmasters. Abrupt Decay gets rid of Hexing Squelcher. Abrupt Decay gets rid of absolute everything, and you cannot counter it. Getting rid of Oracle makes Abrupt Decay good, and Abrupt Decay being better as like this mid-rangey kind of useful tool, I think is relevant. Obviously, if Oracle is gone, like, counterspells are still going to be good in CEDH. Like, I'm not an idiot. You despise the logic where they want to wait and see on Rhystic? I know. Rhystic Study is very powerful and a nuisance for many, especially in competitive Commander, but also a card many people love. You know, I'll talk about this in the podcast more, but I asked on socials, I was like, if you play Rhystic Study, why? And the main answer people say is like, it draws cards. There's nobody who's like, oh, it creates exciting moments. It creates this crazy situation where like this person does this and that person does this, and it's like so fun and exciting, and like I get to do this unique thing because of... No, because it just draws a billion cards and wins you the game for free. That's the reason people play the card. And here's the thing. We're in blue, baby. If Rhystic Study's gone, put other card draw in your deck. You have card draw. It's blue. Oh, man. So funny. This card is just absolutely, like, awful. It would make CEDH so much more fun. So much more fun. Like, I'm playing Ral right now, which is, like, a turbo, like, turn 1 or 2 win deck, right? Like, all I'm doing is trying to just, you know, win the game super fast. I still play Rhystic. Rhystic is still in the deck. because this card is so broken, even though it is absolutely a dead card on your Storm turn, it is antithetical to the Turbo game plan. You still play Rhystic because it wins the game for free for 3 mana. Like, that is how ridiculous this card is. Yeah, see, banning Tymna would be really great for CDH, but the problem is there's no argument for it for casual EDH. There's no way you can justify a Tymna ban for casual EDH, which means CDH is stuck with Tymna. You know? Just make a new card anti-Rhystic Study. I like that idea. Okay, alright. We're moving on to the other article. I don't know why this was in 2 articles. Alright, here's the bracket update. Now, I believe they talk about... They feel good about the state of Commander right now, which I generally do as well. Like, outside of Rhystic Study, I don't really want too many changes. Maybe some more unbans. You know, they want some changes. Okay, alright, so Hybrid Mana. I honestly thought this was a foregone conclusion. I thought Hybrid Mana was gonna be, like a lock. I'm actually really surprised that it didn't go through. Sorry, hiccups. Is it fair to say you don't care how much a card does or does not ruin a format, CDH? Yeah, no, I mean, that's fair to say, but, like, Rhystic Study also sucks in casual EDH. It's not, like, the argument for banning Rhystic Study is not purely CDH. Like, obviously, I think there's a CDH argument for banning it, but I don't want to see Rhystic Study in my casual games ever again either. The card is, like, incredibly late. It's the same thing. One of my opponents takes my agency away, and they choose to have me lose the game. Like, you know? I'm fine with their reasoning, to be honest. They were like, maybe this is too much change too soon. Because there's already been a lot of change, which I actually think is relevant. I'm just very surprised it didn't happen, to be honest. Brackets. They're not going to tweak the brackets right now, which I think is great. But they added Farewell to the Game Changers list. Thank goodness. Is it fair to say that since it's already separated by bracket 5, they could have a separate ban list? I don't know, like a second Game Changer list, like a you can't play in bracket 5 list? That's kind of weird. Maybe it's too many lists. Anyway, yeah, Farewell 100% should have been a Game Changer. This is, like, very silly that it wasn't. This card is ridiculous. If Cyclonic Rift isn't a Game Changer and I get to play Farewell in my enchantment deck, which is just a one-sided board wipe that exiles your whole stuff, yeah. Yeah, this card's crazy. This card in bracket 2 felt ridiculous. Like, let's be real. Oh, these changes were a nothing burger. Not sure if it's good. I don't know if it's a nothing burger. Like, there's small changes. And like, no changes is a decision, you know? Yeah, if Cycrypt is a game changer, like, Farewell has to be a game changer. Absolutely ridiculous. I think their reasoning is fine. I also love that they clarified that, like, even though Farewell is in precons, it doesn't make the precon like bracket 3. That's not how that works. Also, look at this. This isn't saying that precons will never have Farewell again. They definitely will. This means he just confirmed a reprint of Farewell in a precon, right? In your week of playing Magic, you've learned one thing: you hate Rhystic Study. Yeah, it's just a really lame card, you know. I don't think having brackets and 3 ban lists would be crazy. I don't know. Yes, yeah. I do agree. You can't actually have a separate ban list for CDH. That's just not how it. The point of CDH is the most powerful deck you can build within the constraints of the EDH format. Making a new ban list doesn't mean anything because if you split it off to another format, in the current format of EDH, the new format of EDH, whatever the strongest deck is just now CDH. Like that's just it will always, and then you can split off an infinite number of formats until the only legal creature is Hill Giant, and then the CDH decks will be 98 Mountains and Hill Giant, right? Like it doesn't. There's no possible way to remove CDH. That's just not how that works. I did see the Olympic figure skater repping Magic. Did you know, fun fact, I did like 9 years of figure skating. I'm actually reasonably good at ice skating. Random Trinket Mage lore right there. I'd rather lose to someone drawing 50 cards than someone wasting my whole game, casting Farewell, and resetting the game. I mean, here's the thing: is I don't think it's particularly funny if they have 50 cards in hand, drew into the Farewell, and destroy everything other than enchantment so they keep their Rhystic Study, and then you have nothing and they just get to play the game for the rest of the game. People forget CDH is still a game. If Rhystic consistently causes unfun, then it should go. I mean, it's literally just not for CDH. Like, I've taken Rhystic Study out of all my casual decks because it is so lame. I think this is it, right? That's all the changes. So I think that's all I had to go over today. All right, let me formulate some final thoughts for the that I can reiterate on the podcast. I think, other than the Rhystic Study not being banned, I think I like all of the changes. I think I'm pretty happy with this ban list change. We're still waiting for the 24-hour Pokemon ranking stream. Oh, dude. I don't know. Maybe when I have like a completely free like Saturday or something, I'll do that. CDH is a minority of the player base. It's very, very hard to justify banning a card for CDH exclusively unless it sees functionally zero play in casual EDH, which is why Flash was a great ban. Because there was no like casual EDH player that played Flash. This is a good segue. Okay. What I really liked about this Iona thing is what is the upside of banning this, right? And I think thinking about bans and unbans in this manner is really, really, really good. So what does Iona do? It lets you easily lock a player out of casting a majority of spells. If you wanted to, especially in bracket 4, instead of playing this combo, if you wanted to lock players out of spells, you could do that. You could actually still do that. So this doesn't open any new play patterns. It doesn't do anything unique that you can't currently do. Maybe you could do it better or faster, but you could still lock people out in bracket 4 if you want. So because of this doesn't add anything to the format. I think that's a good way to think about it. So when we think about like Flash, right? What did removing this do to the format? Well, you can still flash in creatures. If you wanted to play this fairly, you have Savage Summoning, you have the Ley Line, you have a bunch of things that can give your creatures flash, right? So banning Flash didn't take anything away from you in the format. It just took away a very specific thing you could do, which was instantly win the game with it. So I think thinking about that is always like a good way to think about bans and unbans. And when I think about Biorhythm, yes, you could have an 8-mana finisher now, which is Craterhoof, but you can't have an 8-mana finisher that is kind of jank and leads to these weird moments where maybe you lose. And that's kind of like a fun new thing that Biorhythm actually does, which I think makes it valuable as an unban. I do agree that in EDH they could be more heavy-handed with the bans because there's a lot of cards, but I do like the idea of having the ban list be as small as possible because, like, EDH is for you to play your cards casually and have fun. So banning more cards sort of restricts that. In an ideal world, they ban only for CDH, and casual which just rule zeros. I mean, yes, in an ideal world where rule zero discussions are like perfect, yes, but you know, we don't live in that. We don't live in that. The thing about Rhystic is the it's honestly fine. I don't think it's fine in mid-power games. Because there is, again, Rhystic Study is a card where if I'm sitting down at the table, the player to my left plays Rhystic Study, the other two players can choose to have me lose the game. Like, that's just not a good play pattern. Like, if there was a card that says target player loses the game if the other two players agree to it, it would be really unfun. It would be so cringe, right? You would never want that. This is functionally that. It's I win the game if one of these three opponents decides I win the game. That is not like an okay play pattern. I'm sorry, but for casual Commander, that shouldn't exist. Yeah, I think for power level, like, game changers are like pretty good. Like, because there's a lot of cards like I think Humility is the perfect game changer. You know, it is a very powerful card, and in the right context with other things can be really strong. So restricting it from like the really lower levels of play, I think, is fine. But it also isn't ban worthy or anything. It is ultimately an enchantment. You know. The thing about Rhystic is, if people love playing the card. Yeah. People love playing the card because it gives you free wins, right? And if you care so much about winning, like, that's not like great for casual EDH ultimately. Magic, sure, Magic isn't inherently built for multiplayer games, but like, it's fine. They designed everything for multiplayer anyway now, so. Is Biorhythm not cringe for the exact same reason? How? In what capacity is Biorhythm the same as Rhystic Study? Rhystic Study is 3 mana and has one player just win the game without any agency from you. Whereas Biorhythm is like, oh no, I go down to 5. Maybe I have to block here. Maybe I can attack here. Maybe I can lightning bolt and kill you because you have 3 life left. Like, there's so much play with Biorhythm, and it's an 8-drop. It's completely like different. That's not even like close to the same, I think. The One Ring also needs to be banned. The One Ring doesn't give free wins the same way Rhystic does. I do agree that I actually hate the One Ring. Like, if the card was banned tomorrow, I wouldn't be sad. I think the card is very stupid and lame. But the One Ring does offer different things, right? The One Ring is a card draw engine for mono red and mono white. Colors that struggle with that. And in the context of, you're like, I want to play mono red control, I want to play at bracket 3, which is a higher power level, but I struggle with card draw, so I'm going to use one of my game changer slots on this powerful card draw engine so I can keep up. I think that is a reasonable line, and ultimately more fair in that context. The fact that this is a blue enchantment is a little bit different, because blue already has card draw, and you can build a powerful blue control deck without Rhystic Study already. This is something that puts you even further over the top. Additionally, Rhystic Study is a more powerful card than the One Ring, so there's the power level argument on top of that. Biorhythm plus an overloaded Cyclonic Rift is a win combo. Yeah, 100%. You can overload Cyc Rift for 7 mana and then play your 8-drop and win. I mean, there's lots of 7 drops into 8 drops that win. I don't think that's that crazy, to be honest. The One Ring also is functionally easier. So the thing about the One Ring too is with Rhystic Study is you almost always want to play counter spells to protect it because it draws you cards, so it replaces the 1-for-1. And counter spells are more powerful with a mana disadvantage. So if they don't pay for the Rhystic Study, your counterspell protecting it will have replaced itself. And if they do, your counterspell is more powerful because you get more mana advantage. Everything I'm saying against Rhystic Study is nonsense? In what capacity? What? Bring back Prophet Crucifix? That's probably not a good idea. If you cycle with the player who casts Biorhythm, they lose. Oh, yes. If they cast Biorhythm and you respond with a Cyclonic Rift, and you have creatures, you just win, which is very funny. The strongest thing you can do with Biorhythm is like Blasphemous Act into Rograk Biorhythm, but that's, yeah, exactly. Like, we're talking like 3-card combos with like an 8-mana sorcery. Like, it's not even, this is not even comparable. This is 3 mana win the game in a vast majority of pods. If they Biorhythm plus Cyclonic Rift and you Cyclonic Rift in response, it's a draw. Yes, which is very funny. Do you have any advice for playing against Rhystic Study? Yeah, so I do a couple of things. If somebody plays Rhystic Study and one person goes, I'm not gonna pay for it, I literally will just tell them, hey, if you don't pay for it, I am going to attack you and use every resource to kill you for the rest of the game because I can't win the game if you're feeding them infinite cards. And that either has them go, oh, okay, maybe I'll pay for the Rhystic Study. And then, from there, I dig as hard as I can for removal and try and use it at the most opportune time so they can't counterspell it. And, like, you know, that's like, that's like the best you can do, really. I think losing to Cyclonic Rift plus Biorhythm is, like, fine. It's just not a good card, you know? If you border up into Biorhythm, everyone loses? Yeah. Yeah, it invalidates the prior game in the same sense that everything does, right? Actually, this is a video I'm working on right now, so you'll see me talk about this week. But, like, Moonshaker Cavalry also invalidates the game as much as Biorhythm does, right? Like, it's you're like, oh, we all have this board, we all have these interactions. Oh, but I played the card that just wins the game, and then it just ends, you know. I think the fact that Biorhythm has more opportunities to be snuffed out makes it more interesting. Maybe it's not more than Moonshaker Cavalry, actually. I don't know. I have to think about that. If I'm fine with, I'm not fine with Griselbrand coming off. Oh, you lose all credibility if you still want Rhystic Study ban because the whole thing. In fact, yeah, I don't want Griselbrand should never be unbanned. I think that is ridiculous. I think it is very stupid. Any 2-card, yeah, exactly. Any definitive win condition will quote unquote invalidate the rest of the game. You know. Yeah, Biorhythm's fine. I don't imagine it being a problem. Yeah, I mean, Moonshaker Cavalry will just end the game too. It's like, yeah. All right. And Moonshaker's fine. Like, I'm not saying it's like bad or whatever. I'm not even saying that those cards that quote invalidate the game is something you shouldn't be doing. I'm not even trying to imply that. I'm just saying, like, I don't think Biorhythm's any worse. I do deck reviews on my like Patreon, so if you're a patron, you can submit deck lists there. I'll probably do a deck review stream like next week or something. I mean, you could say that about a lot of things. Like, I could board wipe, and somebody could go, haha, to Fairy's Protection, and then now I have my whole board, I'm going to kill the whole table. You know, like, you know, sometimes board wipes can have you get blown out. That happens. Foxel, by invalidate, a lot of people say this about, like, combos, is they're like, okay, everything that happened didn't matter because you played your combo and you won the game. So all the lead up, all the turns before that weren't relevant. I actually just fundamentally disagree with this, right? The fact that you spent your removal here or didn't hold a counter magic here affected whether or not they won with the combo here, right? So to say that it like actually invalidates the rest of the game, I think is not super relevant, you know? Griselbrand is not fine in bracket 3+. That would be no. Yeah, actually, look, man, I gotta head out too. I gotta go. This was fun reviewing these though. I will probably do a deck review stream next week. It is a game. None of it is relevant. That is true. So I'm probably gonna sign off here. I'm gonna finish working on that script I was just talking about. That I don't know. I haven't decided on the title of. But yeah, you'll see it on Friday. Goodbye, friends. Thanks for tuning in for this.